And welcome along. It's another edition of The Morning Post in conjunction with the Racing Post, of course, and sponsored by William Hill. Happy Saturday, everyone. A clean sweep of cards across the land. We're feeling festive, aren't we? In the next hour, we're going to try and point you in the way of some profit on this Saturday. We'll be looking at Sunday and further afield as well. Don't forget, it's an interactive show. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up. Like, subscribe, comment and share. And anything on Twitter, let's ramp it up. It's the hashtag The Morning Post. Strong opinions on this show as ever. Dave Orton, your presenter, who has more of them than the panel you're going to get, that's for sure. Right, OK, who have we got for you? It is a clean sweep and charging into the studio once again for a repeat. Charlie Poste, the chairman. You are fully charged, are you?
I'm absolutely charged to the max, yeah.
Phone's good to go. Everything's got soup and power and all that sort of stuff.
Phone is got plenty of battery life. I won't be getting stranded.
Don't you get caught out. And talk about charging into the studio all the way from Ireland. What a treat we've got for you this morning. It's only Johnny Dinnen coming his way for the Morning Post. Dave, you're full of tie on, Johnny, and everything. It's the first time I've ever seen you wear one. Good morning, man.
Morning, Dave. Yeah, I said it. I'd changed the outlook for once anyway, see how we get on, yeah?
Yeah, he said I'd blown my sartorial budget, that's for sure. And yeah, you're always sort of somewhere in the middle, aren't you?
Well, you know, I like to call it smart casual, you know, as in the era we're in now, we're beyond ties, aren't we?
I'm looking forward to this panel. It should be good. This is a duo that we've not had yet so far. It's the first time you met you two, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
When the producer was in a shirt, I knew that the run up to Christmas, obviously, the bar's being raised, isn't it?
He's just trying to make sure that Johnny sticks around for the season, I think. John, it's great to have you. It's a good day, isn't it? Of course, it's the Cheltenham December Gold Cup. Another highly emotional day there yesterday. Some pretty good winners. But it's racing across the land, isn't it? It's one of those. We've got Fairy House. We'll be getting David Jennings on the line. We'll be having some patter between Charlie, Johnny in particular with DJ as well. Really interesting card at Fairy House. But we've got the likes of Hereford as well, haven't we? And there's one race in particular. Now, look, if you're a Members Club subscriber, you've probably got the digital edition of the Saturday paper. Johnny does a column every week. We reference that, you know, on the show.
Oh, good,
We'll put you up, don't worry. We'll give you the advert. It's all right. You're earning your corn. And you sometimes surprise punters, Johnny, by looking elsewhere. Races that maybe, you know, a lot of people look at the ITV races, look at the, you know, Grade A's or whatever and all that sort of stuff. But you don't mind going anywhere, do you?
No, I mean, a winner's a winner as far as I'm concerned, and it doesn't have to be Cheltenham, any Hereford or Suddle, anywhere at all. If like 7-4 in Hereford is 7-4 anywhere else is my book anyway. So look, sometimes the races at the lesser meetings are less competitive, and I like having a look at those. Yeah,
I do find at this time of year that the right sort of horses win. And just before we go up to the William Hill offices and introduce J-Mac back into the show, there's a horse there running today that I just want to get out of the way. You put it up in your column, haven't you? Yeah,
that's right. Western Zephyr. I just thought that he was a bit unlucky the last day in Sandown, picked at the back of the second last. I think Bradley Roberts rode it and would have won only for that. Now he's changed his style of running. He was a kind of a gung-ho horse from the front. Now they've tried to. He's
been trained properly.
Yeah, well, they have not said they've trained properly, but I'm just saying they've probably taught him how to race. Is what the kind of the term you'd probably use nowadays.
Because he needed to learn.
Well, a bit, yeah, because he was a kind of a horse to go 100 mile an hour, and he only had one way of running. Now the last day they dropped him in Sandown. Look, I do think those tactics. I'm not mad about those tactics normally, but it probably suits this particular horse, and I'd say he should have won the last day. He looks a winner without a penalty, as far as I'm concerned. I think he'd win this anyway.
Because you know who tried to teach him to learn how to race as a point-to-point trainer, don't you? He was your horse, Charlie, wasn't he?
He was. Johnny, don't let this fool lead you down the garden path here. Like he's flicking him up for you, and you're knocking him out the park. As in,
absolutely magnificent. Right, let's get up to the William Hill trading floor. If you're new to the show, we have loads of banter. I hope you're having your breakfast and enjoying it. Stick with us for the next hour. We open up the trading floor at William Hill, and the top boy, there he is, J-Mac, waiting to go on. What price Western Zephyr with you, Jamie? Welcome back to the show, my man.
Thanks, Dave. Yep, morning, season's greetings. Western Zephyr 6-4, solid. He looks as though he's, we were 15-8, but he's now a solid 6-4 chance.
Oh, let's stick with you, Jamie. Look, he's freshly shaved. He looks ready for Christmas, and he's going to try and get this boost out there for you now. And if you're new, this is live up now. We're going to boost one horse for you for the entirety of the show, maybe up until midday. Jamie will tell you, drum roll please, what's this Saturday boost?
We're giving punters what they want this weekend with the favourite in the big race, Thunder Rock. We're 5-1 from 7-2 for up to £50. So, like I say, it is one that we know will be popular because it's the favourite in the big race. But we also do think we've got chances of getting them beat.
Well, the boosts have been going your way, that's for sure. I think only one has gone in so far. Jamie, I just want to stick with you. Let's lift the lid off this, and it's what I like doing on this show. I rang you pre-show, didn't I? Just say, hi, Jamie, how you doing? Looking forward to the show. But also, I was worried about Thunder Rock drifting a little bit. I thought that 4-1 might become maybe even the 5s while we were going on the show. We've had it before with Under Control, who drifted like an absolute barge during the show. But you weren't having a bit of it. You said 7-2 will be the move.
Yeah, no, we were briefly 4-1, but he was very well backed. He's been, surprisingly strong. I thought with the strength of the opposition that he might be a drifter, but no, he's solid enough. 7-2 chance.
Magnificent. Right, J-Mac with us for the entirety of the show. Get your comments in. If you want to go and ask the trader a question, you can do that. Questions for Charlie, questions for Johnny, even questions for me I might answer. Let's have it. The producers will be doing it. But, and you've got to love the way this show's going this morning. Right, he's just boosted it out, Max McNeill. We've got the owner of Thunder Rock on the line. Brilliant timing, Max. Great to see you dressed and ready for another big day.
No, it's fantastic to be here. You're going to have to forgive me though, Dave. I'm on my way to Cheltenham, so it's a bit in and out of the signal, so we'll see what we can do.
Right, well, we've got you, Max. Let's get you. I mean, he looks like the best handicapped horse in the race to most people, Max. This is Thunder Rock, of course, in the December Gold Cup. He came back at Carlisle. He's bumped into the 1-2, of course, of the Coral Gold Trophy. The mark is left unchanged. What could go wrong?
Well, loads can go wrong, Dave, as you know. But to be honest, what I'd like to see him do is just settle in when they come out the chute, those first 3 or 4 fences they jump is going to be crucial for him, I think. If he can get into some kind of rhythm, I think, he'll get in a rhythm, and I think if he's there at the end, I think he'll have a right chance. It's just the start of the race for him, for me, is crucial. All
right, OK, Max, honestly, we wish you all the luck in the world. It looks there. The punters want to be with him, Max. So I can see you've got your security in the car. You must be going to back him yourself, are you?
Yeah, he's there. Just that's my pal Andy. He's there just in case we get a bit.
Right, Max, we've still got you. While we've got you, I want to ask you about one of our favourites. I always love talking to you about this guy. 3 under through 5. He couldn't quite pull it off in the Badger Ales, but it's fair to say that was a massive step back in the right direction. He goes for you today.
Yeah, and his last 2 runs, Dave, have been very promising. The one before that was, of course, at the Scottish National. He had a wind up in the summer, and Nichols said to me yesterday he's in great form. And we ummed and ahed which race to look at over Christmas. Obviously, there was a Welsh National. There was the one last week, the Beecher, but the ground would have turned against us. And Paulie said to me on Monday, and of course there's a race at Ascot as well next week. But Paulie said to me, we've got to have a look at this race. The ground will suit 3 mile 2 as opposed to 2 mile 7 next week. We got the National as his ultimate target. So I think he'll run well today, and I think this is the right race for him.
All right, Max, once you've gone, stick around on the show because the boys will be talking about that race. Bounce him out and go. We can't let you go, Max, while we've got you on the line for asking about some of your stars. Saw a really nice bumper winner at Exeter in the week as well. Can we talk about in the water side, though, first and foremost? Didn't quite go to plan at Ascot. Was that just the trip?
That was, it's amazing. And this is why Paul Nichols is champion trainer. I got a note for the following day, and he just said, on track, wrong ground, wrong distance rather. And, that it was just about, just draw a line through it. So where we're going to go next, look, he's been given a mark 120, Dave. I think we've got to have a look at a handicap with him, really. And then I think this season, maybe his ultimate target could be Aintree. Hopefully it will be. He's already run there this season. And it's all about next season. I hate to say it, but, it's all about next season over fences. It's a massive horse. He's nearly 18 hands. And I think, he's one we're very excited about for next year.
Handicap. All right. Now, what about 3-Card Bragg? You must have been happy with his chase debut. Everyone loved that run, Max. Probably over a trip slightly too short. He really, come on, he's got that big one in him, hasn't he, over fences this year?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. It was a beautiful first run. And I know we got beat, but, that horse, Emmett's horse already had a run before, which I think made a huge difference. And, you know, it's just what you wanted to see, Dave, to be honest. You wanted to see him jump well, which he did. He never missed a beat. You know, he just got a bit tired at the end. And Gordon phoned me and said that was proper. And look, there's going to be a race over Christmas for him. Maybe, I think there's one at Limerick. Is it the Forheen? I think he might have a look at that. And, you know, if not, maybe one at Leopardstown. But, you know, his ultimate target, I think, Dave, at this stage, was the National Run Chase. I think he's made for it.
We got Johnny Dinnen in here, as you probably know, Max, and he was listening to every single word on that. So there's your news for you, viewers like that. 3-car Bragg, what a run that was. Goes to Limerick over Christmas. There was a decent bumper winner. We'll never know the name of the horse. And Johnny Dinen's not going to pronounce it, guys. I do.
Quebecois, that's the one in Exeter on what Sunday during the week? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, hi Johnny. Yeah, I'm glad you think the same, because I hadn't a clue what it was, but because it was already named when we bought him. And funny enough, I saw Sean Dorr yesterday. I said, "Where do we get that name from?" Because I bought it from Sean, and he said it's already named. And actually, it's Quebecois.
Yeah.
And it means a citizen of Quebec, apparently.
Okay. he was quite impressive, wasn't he, on the soft surface? Will he stay for bumpers, or will you maybe go over hurdles with him, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was impressive, Johnny. I mean, you know, it's difficult to know what the opposition was like, but I think beforehand I was thinking it was pretty strong, and you know, he did it very well. You know, it was that horse has actually cost me more sleepless nights, because I sort of bought him on a bit of a whim. It's a bit of a long story, which you haven't got time for, but you know, and I got a couple of good mates into him, and it was, you know, today is exciting. That was just pure nerve-wracking.
Okay.
Brilliant. Listen, Max, we've got you. It was a pretty good line. The only time you cut out was when you were about to throw Paul Nicholls under the bus about in the water side. So it's worked out brilliantly. Listen, Max, you're one of the best in the game. You're one of the great talkers. We wish you luck today. 2 huge players. Merry Christmas from everyone at the Racing Post and William Hill to you and the family, and the security in the car.
Thanks, Dave. Merry Christmas to you and the boys. Have a good one.
Brilliant, Max McNeill. Honestly, that was great, wasn't it? So look, listen, you've got the lowdown. Max would have stayed all show if you'd have let him, honestly. And we've got the boost now. Thunder Rock, 7-2, out to the 5s. We'll get your thoughts on that shortly, lads, all right? And then we had the owner telling us, basically, if you've got a William Hills account, if not, go and open one up. They'll let you have 50 quid on at the price. If it goes well over the first couple of fences, they'll be disappointed if he's not bang there. Okay, there's the running order on the show. Let's get on with it, shall we, for you out there. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment and share. Let us know you're out there, and we shall open the floor and get your questions to the panel. Right. In the next hour, loads coming up. But let's start with the paper roundup, shall we? Love the front page of the Race Post today. 10 out of 10 for the front pages on the news desk. Welcome to the Thunderdrome. And Mad Max McNeill, of course, is the owner. Yes, let's go inside now and see what you can get on a Saturday at the Racing Post. Let's move along. Steve Palmer there talking about John Rahm. Thunder Rock leads the charge in the feature event on another day when Grade 1 performers enter handicap waters. Scott Burton, great to see the French correspondent take it over from Chris Cook for the week on page 2. Fugitive set to escape from his rivals in the feature, says Pricewise Tom Siegel. There's Tom's tips for you there. All the way down to the last at Donny. There he is, the Sizzler himself. Gills is there. It's as easy as that. Paddy Power Gold Cup pair can bounce back to top form. That's, of course, easy as that for Venetia and Mon Miral. An electric Dysot Enos to 4-1 for the festival target. All the reviews from James Stevens, who's waiting in the wings for us at Cheltenham to give us the lowdown. You can get that in the paper today. 4-1 then, Dysot Enos. Jamie McBride, I might come to you with this. She is a very, very popular horse, Dysot Enos. Fergal O'Brien said yesterday, quite rightly, this is the best we've had. We've never had anyone quicker, he said. Looks like she's going to avoid that penalty going to Cheltenham. All roads lead to the mares. Is she now joints with Hills?
She's second fab. We're 7-2, Brighter Days Ahead, and 4-1, Dysot Enos. But yeah, it's a good point about the penalty. I do like the fact that they're going to avoid it, because it does sometimes make a difference in this race. I think Brighter Days Ahead might have picked up a penalty, because I think that Down Royal race might have been graded or listed. So that might make a difference come March.
Just a quick word about her, guys, with you. I'm assuming you were there yesterday, because there was a sale, so you had to be there. And what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good start, wasn't it? You know, I mean, I think we talked before whether it was the deepest race in the world, but there were a couple of decent yardsticks in there, beat the bad of Harry Fries, etc. And she could do no more than quicken up impressively and win tidy. on that first start. That she's got the bumper form in the book, as you said yourself. The race at Aintree is working out okay, and the fact that they are immediately plodding back from the mare's novice and trying to avoid the penalty makes perfect sense, really. If you got one go at it, don't you?
The market seemed to know Johnny yesterday.
Yeah, it did. It was well back. I just checked 10 minutes before the race, 5-4 finish up odds on. That's a fair move now in a race like that. And
Should we fuss up 4-1 for the mare's novice?
I do think one thing you said is vital, though. Avoiding the penalty is massive in this race.
Because you've already put Better Days Ahead up, or you've only been talking her up.
No, I didn't put her up yet anyway. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Steady on, Dave.
No, I think she's a chance, but I didn't realise that she already has a penalty. That is a negative in that race, definitely.
You often see it with the Irish horses that come over, of course, because they're winning all these great races in Ireland, and then they come and pick up the penalty. Anyway, that's Dysart Inos. What did you make of her? You can get involved, of course, second favourite in the future races. If you're going to the app or the William Mill website, future races, that's where you see Cheltenham Festival will be there. Talking of the Cheltenham Festival, who wants to go? There you go. That's all you got to do if you want to get involved. The competition is out there. Right then, look no further. Your previews on Saturday start now. We're going to go to the 1:15 at Cheltenham, a 2-mile handicap. Jamie McBride, what's hot and what's not?
It's been.
Hang on a minute. Sorry. James Stevens is waiting in the wings. I said he was. I wanted to go straight into the previews. We can actually go now live to Cheltenham. Steve-O, this is your moment to shine. Sorry, I nearly took you off there, which is probably no bad thing for you this morning. What is the scene looking like?
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, that's a nice start to. They always forgot about me. Yeah, lovely day here at Cheltenham. Second day of the December meeting. Dry night overnight. We proper soft ground yesterday, and yeah, all set for a really cracking day's racing, I think.
Great stuff, Steve-O. Good to have you back on. I'd never forget about you. How could I possibly do it? Emotional day there, James, yesterday. We just highlighted your report with Dysart Inos. Are we expecting to see any good things, maybe Cheltenham Festival movers today, or...?
Difficult question. I think there are certain races that could throw up a festival horse, but perhaps haven't. I think the theme of today, for me, is two real rock-solid Grade 1 horses in handicaps. We don't see it enough, do we? But we've got Protector and Fakadu Dairy in handicaps. It's really good to see, and hopefully one of the two or both of them run really well, because it's what we want in the game, isn't it? You know, we talk about these handicaps, talk about capping these handicaps. To have real Grade 1 horses on a Saturday, giving weight to a well-handicapped horse and seeing how they match up, almost throwing the two divisions in one, it's brilliant. In terms of Cheltenham Festival movers, I suppose the Triumph Trial can usually throw out one. It doesn't look on paper the strongest race in the world, but it's called a trial, so we'll see what happens. And the Albert Bartlett over 3 miles. I think it's not a bad race this year. It'll go to Cop for me as a horse that's definitely going to improve and looks a potential star in the making. So he's one of my big fancies today, and fingers crossed he will prove a Cheltenham Festival contender.
Of course, this is the last chance to visit Cheltenham this year anyway. Steve-O, are they flocking in down there? When can we get your reports, man?
I'm not sure they're quite flocking. It's not one of the busiest days here, but nevertheless, it's good racing today. Reports we'll respond to as it happens live, because all the action, like Dysart Inos won yesterday, we were quick on the ball with that. A really impressive winner discussed earlier. Yep, all the reports tend to go up about 6 o'clock, but we'll be live and covering it as it happens. So yeah, plenty to look forward to today. Best luck with all your selection. James,
before I let you go, I've got to find out where the Steve-O Fiver is going. You're not, because of course you napped Dysart Inos when she was 7s on, which I've given you some banter about. You can get all the tips, of course, from our correspondents on the app. What's the West Country spinner, and what else is your next best? Come on.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Dave, nice to mention that twice. In Excelsius Doe for Harry Fry today. A real eye catcher when he was third here last time. Looks made for the race. We're switching to the new course today, which is a really important theme compared to the other races at Cheltenham. Bit more emphasis on stamina, and I think that's going to be spot on for this horse. And elsewhere from Cheltenham, Scirocco's Dream were quite hot on at Hereford as well.
Steve-O, go well, my man.
Top man, best of luck today.
Okay, there you go. I was preempting our previews there, but we'd love to have Steve-O on. Yeah, she ran and she was 7-1 on. He put it on his West Country naps. It was terrible. But I think he might be looking in the right place for his nap today. And let's go to Jay McBride. Jay, I preempted the market there. You'll have to forgive me on that one. And that gave me a chance to look at your price for an Excelsis Dio, who of course is the West Country correspondent nap. Bigger than some might expect.
Yeah, the front two have been a little bit lukewarm. There seems to be a bit of money around for Orc and Risk. But I think there is more strength behind In Excelsis Dio than Calico, so I would expect him to go off favourite.
Right, okay, all right. All right, okay. I mean, what are we thinking about this market? Let's just get this out of the way, shall we, John? We both like the fav here, don't we?
Yeah, I think 5-2 is very, very fair. Yeah, I think there is maybe a slight doubt about him maybe backing up his first run, but he's had a nice break. I said I think 7 weeks. That should be enough for a 2 mile chaser, I would have thought anyway. And I thought he shaped a lot of promise. The ground will suit him more than Calico, even though Calico's a bit of form back along on heavy ground. But essentially, I think he's a better ground horse. Akon Risk has been flipping between hurdling and chasing and that, and maybe
successfully though, John.
Yeah, I suppose so. But he's probably the only other horse that has any chance. I couldn't really fancy the rest of them. Look, I think 5-2 in Excelsis Dio is fair. I think he's one of the better bets of the day, to be honest.
Yeah, Calico, of course, finished second, and the horse that gives him a collateral line of form there, of course, Triple Trade. In Excelsis Dio was closing on him fast all the way, and you'd think that would give him the beating postie, wouldn't you, of the rest of them?
Yeah, I mean, never mind what Johnny says. I like Finnambule Savola in this, as in I thought he ran better on his latest start at Ascot. He's dropped 6 since the start of the season, and I thought he's working his way to form. I think last year he took 2 or 3 starts before he got back on the winning trail, and again, he's another quality horse top in handicap. I think Steve-O made an excellent point about these Grade 1 horses in handicap. Surely
he's another one, isn't he? Yeah,
that's got to be the future for the sport, as in less graded races and see more
Hoist
of them
and
taking
York,
them
of course,
on.
in the Coral Gold Cup started it off, and we're going to see the Fleur de Lis, of course, at Lingfield. Let's just hope that does keep going on, because it's this obsession with the 1-1-1's got to stop, hasn't it? Basically, he's a pesky horse, that Funambule Savola, for me, because it's just the sort of Charlie Deutsch rider I could see going well to 2 out. I'd be disappointed if an Excelsior Dio doesn't pick him up, though. The danger, I suppose, the yin to the yang, if you fancy the Harry Tribe favourite, is that he didn't go on with it last year. Is he a first time out? Also, I guess at 5-2 we'll take the chance.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I do think that he's well weighted here, and I struggle to fancy the top weights in these kind of races. I don't know. I think they're in handicaps for a reason. Is that they couldn't cut it at the better level, in my opinion. And I wonder, is he a horse that's on the downgrade? I think he might be Funambule, but I might be wrong now.
There is a potentially pesky one in there. Prince Escalus. John Joe O'Neill, because of Sky Pirates, got a very good record in this race, but he's won it with others as well. He caught my eye a little bit last time. Yeah. Like he might be on the way back a bit.
There's plenty of pace here, but between the likes of Princess Escalus, Funambule Savola, Akon Risk, the horse that likes to be up there. Even Calico won't be very. His race will be run to. If Excelsis Dio can't win this anyway, he isn't much good in my book anyway.
Correct. All right. A nice straight bat as usual from Dinnen there. All right, let's move on, shall we? Massive chance for Harry Fry to take out the first of the featured races, and it's the big one coming up. Thunder Rock, 7-2 on the screen. A reminder, if you're just joining the show, good morning. Where have you been? You've missed an absolute belter so far, including the boost, which is now out to 5-1 with William Hills for the entirety of the show, and probably a little bit beyond. You can get 50 quid on at 5s. What about the rest of the market, J-Mac?
Yeah, obviously Thunder Rock's going to be the worst result you'd imagine, but the other one who looks as though it's going to be a bad result is Fugitive. Obviously Tom Siegel's put him up, and we're 4 places in this race, so you can see why he's popular each way with punters, because he's solid under these type of conditions and surely likely to run his race. So he looks as though he's going to be a bad result. So Scottish is one we'd have a healthy respect for, and he's one we probably won't be going out of our way to lay.
That is an understatement of the season, I think, Jay. All right, Jay, just quickly, what do you like in the race?
Yeah, I think so Scottish. I mean, it's hard to say he's any value, but he's one we'll be keeping on the right side of.
Well, so in other words, that's where the J-Mac 5 is going. All right, okay. Where do we start with? And again, Grade 1 horses in handicaps, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the argument is he in there just to keep the weight down for So Scottish?
This is Fakir Duderi.
Yeah, but I mean, he's never ran the handicap before. I mean, he pitches off here. I think he's off 160 or 162. He's a fascinating contender. I mean, he's only 8 years old, but he seems to have been around forever. And I mean, he's a proper horse, this lad.
You get loads of preview shows from us at the Post, of course, and others elsewhere. The beauty of this show, Johnny, is that we now know what the market's done overnight. And here he is sitting at 11 to 1. There's one reason why he's here, right?
Yeah, it looks like that he's here to keep the weight down for So Scottish, yeah. And there are horses out the handicap as a result of him being in this race. And apparently he only came in at 2 minutes to 10 as well when they were declaring him. So there was horses declared thinking he wasn't going to appear, and suddenly, bang, he was there. So look, I'd imagine he's here to. I'd imagine he's here to keep to give So Scottish a better chance. But he'd probably running on his own merits at the same time. But he's a horse I regularly backed, but I do have a feeling that he's definitely on the downgrade.
He's like Frodon, isn't he? You know, like a magnificent animal.
Yes.
Also, that started off as a 4-year-old, won the handicaps young. He's like a bit of elastic, isn't he?
He started off as a 3-year-old even.
Yeah.
In France.
He's an incredible horse.
He won the Triumph
Yeah.
Trial. Was it on this day? No, it wasn't. Was it in January? I can't
Could have
remember.
been, yeah.
A brilliant horse.
He ran into Supreme Novice as a 4-year-old, didn't
That's
he?
right.
Yeah.
You know, did he win the Chepstow race? No, the finale, no?
I don't think so, no. I think he won a race in Cheltenham, all right, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that was on his debut for Joseph. Anyway, look, we digress. A great horse at the top of the market, keeping the weights down for So Scottish. He's my tip. If you go back to that Boot Hill form this time last year, I got something of a feeling he's a winter horse as well. The ground will be drying in his favour the whole time, I hope. That's the imponderable. Also, the switch to the course means it hopefully be a bit fresher. The ground is the one worry if you're piling into So Scottish today. His best form is on slightly top of the ground. He also went to the festival, some people was crying out there, and didn't cut the mustard, you know. So I wonder if he was quite over the top there, chucking on the tongue tie. Everything looks right for me this year. I think this is JP going for December Gold, and he'll be on top of me. Charlie, the tip.
Yeah, I've gone Fakir Duderie. I still think he's a quality performer, and I like this angle.
And you would like to see a bit of egg on my face, so that
I
would
would
definitely
love
be,
to see that. Yeah,
that'll definitely be happening. Johnny, what wins?
Look, I'm going down through them. So Scottish to me is a slightly better ground horse, although I would respect the connections. Mon Morale is a maiden over fences. The fact that he's picked it over Il Redoto you have to respect that at the same time. Fugitive is a horse that just finds one to beat him, I think.
He's a thief. That's what I call him on this.
he's gone up a serious amount in the weight as well through being placed.
Yeah, exactly.
Very talented animal.
Yeah.
I said yesterday he could run in the Ryan Air respectably.
Yeah.
But
It's
not
hard to think
necessarily
he's
win
well
this.
handicapped.
He's a massive horse, isn't he, I think, and he usually needs his first run. But see what Tom's gone through. Keith Melrose, the betting editor, absolutely loves this horse.
And Mon Morale, is he well handicapped, that horse?
He'll again another Grade 1 winner, but as a 4-year-old, and he's got a lot to prove.
He has. I mean, look, I fancy the favourite, but maybe not enough to have any money on it.
Yeah.
I do think that, I know it's only a 12-horse race, but a lot of his form is in 4, 5 and 6-horse races. And I know 12 isn't a massive amount, but it's still more than he's been effective on at. He's jumping. I do think if he's jumping, he'll hold up. He's the horse to have to beat. There would be a question mark about him of maybe these kind of horses forcing an error out of him at the same time. But if he's jumping, holds up, and if he's there turning in, I could see him definitely winning.
That should be the one.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there are prices there. They're available to you. The markets are pretty mature now. You wouldn't expect too much movement with the weather set fair until the 15-10 minutes before the race. So, again, that's the beauty of the Morning Post. Everything's settled now. We know the weather, we know the markets, we can see what's hot and what's not. All right, what do you like in the 150, the race of the day? That is the December Gold Cup. Get your comments in. Were you surprised that Harry Cobden was persuaded to ride Mon Morale, or was it just always going to happen? I think Il Redoto's got a good chance of placing again as well. All right, let's move on. One more to come from Cheltenham, and it's Novice company we go to. It's the Albert Bartlett trial, if you like. And, we're going to 225. Okay, once again, I'm preempting. I'll tell you what, we're trying to get to the 11 o'clock Holy Grail for you out there. All right, it's the 225. It's the staying Handicap Chase. Johnny Dinnen will be happy I'm talking about this. He's probably thinking, hang on a minute, where are we going with this? But J-Mac, brought by Boy, very impressive novice winner last time. A lot of people I'm hearing on social media and tipsters and pundits saying that race totally fall apart. He's gone up in the weights, still a strong favourite.
He is, yeah. This was a really tricky one to price on Monday because Protectorate was in with 20-odd horses, but you knew if Protectorate was going to turn up, so many would be out the handicap and it would cut up a lot. So some lucky punters have got 6-1 Broadway Boy and 12-1 Easy as That. And they are both very, very strong. Even after the final decks, they've been really well supported. So we'll be wanting anything outside of those two to do us a favour. And hopefully, I think City Chief could be the one.
Yes, this is actually on the running order. I've just been told by the producers. It's 3 mile 2. It's usually a pointer towards the Welsh National, this sort of race, isn't it? And again, Charlie, I'll come with you because we've got a very good horse at the top of the weights and all that sort of stuff. And it's a feverish betting market. Protectorate first and foremost. Have we been hearing from Dan about any of this? Or?
I mean, personally, I haven't heard from Dan. I mean, Haydock would have been his Gold Cup, wouldn't it? I mean, it's probably the only chance he has of winning a Grade 1 in the season. I can't imagine he's going to improve a whole heap from there. And he was disappointing. There's no.
You think he's going to get beat?
I think he will get beat. Yeah.
Let's not make any bones about it. Buy.
I like 3 under through 5. Max McNeill, we heard him on earlier. I thought his run in the Badger Beer was a really solid start. So I think the second run back now from a wind-up. Harry Cobden got a good tune out of him. I think he's really, really solid in this, yeah. I like his... I mean, there's a few of them against him stepping up. I agree with the Broadway boy angle. I think that race did fall apart a bit, you know, as in for all the yard, love having winners here. I would be wary of him now into a handicap against these more sort of hard and gnarly veterans. And yeah, 3 under through 5, I think is very solid.
Are you with that opinion about the Fav as well?
Yeah, I think he has a chance, but I think he's quite short at 9 to 4 at the same time, you know. I wouldn't dismiss him around to that, but again, a lot of his form is in smaller fields too. When you step out into this kind of company as early as he is as a novice, it's a pretty big test. He's not going to get his own way maybe up front too here. You know, he likes Boston races and that. No, don't see any huge front runner in this race, but maybe he will boss the race. Look, I think he has a chance, but that's all he has is a chance, in my opinion.
We're agreeing again on this race.
Yeah, are you fancy City Chief, do you, Dave?
I thought it was a very good comeback run. I think they were expecting him to, whatever he did last time, come on for it. I thought he ran almost. I know the market will always fancy Nicky horses like this and the Joe Donnelly colours. He was easy enough to back, and it screamed like this was the target.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it is the target, and that I chanced him each way now. I do think he cannot be out of the front 3 anyway. There's 9 runners here, and like is there still 9? Or is there only 8? There's enough for 3 places anyway, isn't there?
There is. Don't worry about that, John.
Yeah.
We'll be getting that.
Easy as that, stepping up a bit in trip. He was entered in the 2.5 mile race.
He's been a steamer for this, I think,
hasn't he? Yeah. So they must think that this extra 6 furlongs is going to help him. He has a chance, all right. 300, you'd respect that. Bleed the Girl won well here the last day. He's about £12 wrong with City Chief this time. Look, City Chief, to me, this is his derby here anyway. I'd say if he's not in the first 3 here, I'll be disgusted.
I'm disgusted. That's what we get from Johnny, isn't it? Tom Leach, Leachy's back on. City Chief, does he stay? You've just had that answered for you, Leach. He stays all day.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He's a horse that they were considering for the Gold Cup and National Hunt Chase last year and all that sort of stuff.
I don't think it'd be stamina will get him beaten this.
And again, drying ground won't be a bad thing for him at all.
Apparently, the lower weight, the 10 stone 4, whatever he has, rather than lumping the big weight to last, that's supposed to help him as well.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's keep the floor coming up. Come on, get your questions in. Let's have it. Good morning to you, Leachy. All right. Okay. That is the penultimate race at Cheltenham that we are going to preview. And I was rushing to get to the Albert Bartlett trial because it is an absolute belter, the 3 o'clock, and it could be a big 45 minutes for the Donnelly team. That is for sure, because Shanna Bob, novice, pitched into top company now pretty much for Nicky Henderson and Joe Donnelly himself. 9 to 4 at the moment, J-Mac.
Yeah, it's another lukewarm favourite, really. We were 15 to 8 after the final decks on Thursday, and even though he's lukewarm now, it's not hard to see him being a terrible result race time just because of the ones next to his name, the owner, trainer. It's just going to be very popular race time, you would think, with punters, but he's lukewarm for the moment. So we have seen money against him with Cadell, Destroy the Evidence, Genie Twal, and Kerry Hill have all been backed against him. And I think Cadell could be the one getting a weight pull with Kerry Hill from the Kelso race.
You thought he should be coming here, Cadell, thanks, Jamie, with a one next to his name, Cadell. I see you put him up in your column last time.
Yeah, I thought he had a good chance. He's better off at the weights with Kerry Hill, and he should have won that racing thing. He got squeezed or squazzed, whatever you like to call it.
You managed to get the bump on that name right, and you couldn't say squashed.
Squashed or whatever at the very wrong time, coming to the second last, and then he switched on, and your man was gone. You know, Kerry Hill held him, I suppose, but I do think he was a bit unlucky in that race. Plus the weight difference here, he should really beat Kerry Hill. Shanna Bob to me is a horse with big talking horse with those colours. Like if anyone else trained him, he wouldn't even be favoured. But look, maybe he's a good horse. I don't know. Alico the Cot ran all right, just got nozzled there in Lingfield. Horse I wouldn't fancy here is Destroy the Evidence myself.
He ticks a lot of boxes, doesn't he? But it's a completely different test for Destroy the Evidence, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, two wins round Kenton handicap the last day. As in, this is going to present a very, very different test from track setup and everything that goes with that. I agree with Johnny Shinar Bob. I think is a false favourite on reputation. Illico de Cotte's form got franked. I think the horse that beat him, Venetia's, ran well in a handicap off a mark in the high 120s next time. I'm with you.
Should he have won at Lingfield though?
Potentially.
He looked like he had every single chance of me on.
Yeah. No, he's not exactly sailed the century at 92 either, is he?
He's not at all. I mean, he did get beat last time. Let's accompany this, and
albeit by a Nats,
92. But he's still. I'm with Johnny. I like Cadell in this. I think the extra 2 furlongs on this stay-in track as well will suit him really well. I think he lacks a gear, of course, but I think this is all for him. Yeah, I think this test will suit him very well.
Let's just concentrate on this favourite before we move on to Donny, because here we go. Shanna Bob, perfect producers. Who knew? Doghouse Riley. Let me tell you, Charlie's only just come out of that doghouse, so he's with you on the way. Shanna Bob didn't beat much at Plumpton. Now, this was basically, I wanted to concentrate a little bit more on this favourite, so I'm going to call you Riley. Great question. And was he always going to be lukewarm, Shanna Bob? Because it's a bigger test, but you couldn't get anything on him at Plumpton, and he was still only fairly workmanlike. However, you watch that back in your members club, going past the running, he's getting going again. It was a weird move from Plumpton and that trip, wasn't it?
What, to this?
No, for his debut. He's obviously a dour stayer, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a strange track with a dour stayer to go to. He was a 200 grand point-to-pointer, so he was always going to be favourite with the connection, surely. But does it smack of confidence when you go to Plumpton first time out?
Not really. But even though the market suggested it, I mean, beating all right horse, but probably.
Yeah, but he was never not going to be favourite and warm at Plumpton.
What is it? Falls on something like that.
Finished up 2-9 from 2 to 5. Yeah, they're back to.
Is that fair though or not? He was always going to.
Oh, he was, and you're right. He was brought to Plumpton to make sure he won.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
The point being, does that mean he was always going to be, because of the workmanlike nature of it, albeit of a test that was probably totally wrong for him, is going to mean that he was always going to be just over 2-1 here? So there's a lot of people.
To me, it almost. I think Charlie's right that. They were afraid to bring him to somebody like nobody that he get beat. You know what I mean? That kind of way. So you bring him to Plumpton where you can't get beat in a race like that.
It's normally where Nicky would go. There's novices. They'd all pitch up at Newbury or somewhere like that.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I didn't back him that day, and he was short. And for a bulk of that race, you wouldn't like to be mad. You wouldn't be mad if you were too much on him. You know what I mean? I know ultimately at the line he was strong, but he was running against nothing at the same time.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him win. Graham Roberts made a big case for him in his preview. Just thinks he'll outclass this lot. I think it's a dangle that Destroy the Evidence. I've been impressive last twice to me, and it was wet ground.
And the profile of plenty of experience suits this sort of race.
I think so. Anyway, so look, it's a tricky one. What do you like? Still got time to get your shouts out. We've got David Jennings coming on the line after the last at Doncaster. Have I got that right, producer? I think I have. Yes, it is. There it comes up. 3:15, 2 shots of tequila. Who has that for breakfast? Man next to me.
We maybe did 10 days ago.
Yeah. We may have had a go at that, maybe. I do like one in this. Paul Keeley's put it up, and as well. But let's get the market lowdown from J Mac up in the Hills offices. Now, Mr. Coffee this morning, when I looked first thing, was around about sort of 4-5 favourite. There's obviously been a mover.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee has been popular. We were 11-2 24 hours ago, so he's into 9-2. So he's been strong enough. Obviously, his supporters must be nearly running out of patience with him. He's a very frustrating horse. But the big mover is 2 shots of tequila. I suppose is Tom Siegel inspired. Down at the right end of the weights, he's been very, very strong. We were 7-1 into 7-2 currently. Right,
okay. The power of Price-Wise then pushes 2 shots of tequila into the market leader. Lads, what do we like here? I've sort of said the whistle in the dark, me and Kills. I can see the angle there. I think the trip was far too short in the Paddy Power Gold Cup. This has always been what they've been waiting for. Laura Morgan, top operator.
Yeah, very shrewd operator. I mean, struggling a bit for winners this time round, but maybe suffering on the back of a very, very good season last year when she had 40. I like Man the People in this. Went off 9-1 in his last season in the Scottish National. His reappearance was perfectly acceptable at Exeter. He unseated early last time. I think Fergal O'Brien gives him a good mention. I think at the prices, he's a real attractive bet in this.
I was wondering whether you were going to put up Sail Away, because one of your best mates looks after Sail Away, didn't she?
Yes, she does. I would be wary of jinxing it. She's very superstitious about these sort of things.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I'd imagine she'll be going. I mean, the Cottons own it, but I think Gilly will be there to collect the prize if it does come together.
Which happens more often than not, I believe, doesn't it? But he was very impressive up at Ayr anyway, and he's solid in the market sail away for Team Skelton. Mr. Coffee, John, you're not going to sack up a fence this, are you, and put it up?
No, I'm not. No, I don't think you could put Mr. Coffee up in any race. Could you really? The way he runs, like he's
poor Mr. Coffee.
He is beatable in absolutely any company. The way he runs, isn't he? I don't know. You couldn't trust him anyway.
If Derek O'Connor had come over for the ride, we might have seen he's done it up there before
It's
for
the
Nicky,
way
isn't he?
Nicky keeps talking about for the national.
Yeah,
The plan is, we need to go up a bit and get in. Leaves his novice status, and the national's the aim. It's like
losing the novice status isn't easy. He's about 4 years trying to do it.
A lot of people saying he shouldn't be running in novices. All right, that's the final race, and let's get some tips. John, who's going to win?
I'll go with a stab forward plan. I just think it ran all right.
It's a stab sort of race.
It is, and it's this better ground will probably help him rather than win Canton. And look, it's his second run. Usually these long distance horses will benefit from at least a run anyway. So I'd go with him, but it would be only a token selection.
All right, and it's man of the people for Posty. Talking of man of the people, that is your Saturday preview done for now. So you've got your tips. Look, you've got Johnny's selection there, forward plan. I think Kills is right, whistle in the dark as well. All right, is there anything else today that the panel like, just while we wait for DJ to get his connection on? Today, because we're looking at Sunday Sizzlers as well. No, don't go in your nap, because you're not napping at Cheltenham, are you?
No, I'm not napping at Cheltenham.
No.
I was going to say, but I love the nightlife in the last at Cheltenham, the Tizard mare. I think she
Two
bombed
shots
that.
of tequila. I love the nightlife. This is topical.
It's a
with
pattern
you,
there, isn't it? And I live in the doghouse. It's my address.
It's a pattern there. You were at the sales yesterday.
Yeah.
With Vibrant or?
I think trade is reflective of the rest of the world. It's a little bit in and out. I mean, there's still a lot of money at the top end. If you have something highly desirable, then you're in the clover. It's maybe the middle market is a little bit more dicey. But I think what we still see is whatever is going on in the world, people that love racing still want to get stuck in. I mean, they have one of these sales every month, and you're still seeing 300 grand plus invested in jumpers. So the sport's popularity is there for all to see. There's many other issues facing racing, but I don't think its popularity is a problem.
All right, okay. All right, look, we're going to do the Sunday Scissors first. We're going to give DJ every chance. He's at Fairy House today. Luckily, we've got Johnny Dinnen in case it doesn't come off. But that would have been great to have DJ on, so we're going to give him every chance to come on. Let's look at the Sunday Sizzler race then. Carlisle tomorrow, another really good couple of racetracks in Ireland as well, but we're hoping to get that word with DJ. Let's go for the Potence qualifier then. Absolutely loves these. Howling Mad Murdoch. J-Mac looks like he's going to beat. I was a bit disappointed with Ramo last time at Newbury, but he looks strong as well for you.
Yeah, he is strong, yeah. And the yard can do no wrong at the moment. It's obviously a light betting heat so far. There's not much happening, but if you want a bit more bang for your buck, we've also got some doubles on the to win tomorrow and to win the final. So we've got like the likes of Howling Mad Murdoch, 66-1 to win tomorrow and the final. Ramo's 100-1. Couple of others quoted there, yeah, but light betting heat so far.
Light betting heat, and as you might imagine, but the Sunday fair, isn't it? We're not quite at Christmas yet. You're going to want to be playing up your winnings. Is there anything to be doing that with in this particular race?
I thought Prairie Dancer was interesting for Joseph O'Brien. Kind of got his form back together on the flat at the back end of the season, win the listed race. I think he's rated 139 over hurdles, which is workable. It's a race where recent form is hard to come by. I mean, the one at the top of the market and Schalke both finished behind in the decent handicap hurdle at Haydock last time. Ramo, I agree with you, penultimate start winner, but I thought was disappointing last time out. Omar Moretti's a better chaser, and again, recent form is not a lot to go at.
All right, okay. John, did you have a stab?
Yeah, look, I think the favourite would be hard to beat here. 2-1, like it's not a great price, but its form there in the 3 mile novice hurdle in Aintree is a standout. I think that's proper race. The likes of Stay Away Faye and in around that kind of area. Like Ramo is a horse I wouldn't back in any race myself now, to be honest. And Prairie Dancer might have a chance. All right, look. It's had a run as well in that big handicap hurdling thing, and I just find, from my own point of view, that 3 mile horses will nearly always prove for a race anyway. You know what I mean? And this, look, he's a relatively unexposed horse. Definitely Lacey's horses started slow, and like the run will have done it no harm. he'd look the one to me now, a fairly strong selection, to be honest.
If he's going to, I mean, 137 he's on at the minute, because they've changed the rules a bit with these Pertemps races. You're always watching the race for fourth now.
Yeah.
It's almost like a separate race.
Well, that's what you're up against having a bet in the race. That is a bit of an issue, all right. But 137, he'll need to be in and around that to qualify, won't he? Those kind of races, would you need
You
to
would
be?
imagine so.
Yeah,
I mean, that just nearly get you in.
You probably would, wouldn't it?
I
Yeah.
think it would get you in, yeah.
Yeah, it
do?
probably would. Yeah, it probably would.
I mean,
Who do I like in this? They're asking me. I thought Moretti was quite interesting. He was a very good horse over fences not that long ago.
Yeah.
You know, Kim Muir and all that sort of thing. I've been waiting for him to come back, but I must admit, this is probably one where I'll be at the bar. I'll be definitely watching which is more often than not, John. I'll definitely be watching the action at Thurles. It is Thurles tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Navan,
Navan.
Yeah.
You pronounce that differently because we got a bit of a thing on this show because of DJ about how you have to pronounce Navan. How would you say Navan?
Navan.
I think you're a bit quick on them, aren't there?
Yeah,
John,
Navan, yeah.
Isn't it 2A? Because you've got Graham Rodway that comes in. He starts saying Narvan and things like this, which is absolutely ridiculous.
No, Navan, I suppose. Navan.
I suppose if you're a posh Irishman, you say Narvan, do you?
Yeah.
Johnny,
I think the guys up around that area.
Johnny started by knocking the bumper winner's name out of the park, and he's got squashed wrong, and he's just got Navan wrong. Now, the man of the people is with us, I'm thrilled to say, and not at Fairy House, I'm hearing, DJ. Perhaps that's the issue. Welcome along, everyone's favourite for our Irish angle. Familiar company today, Johnny's with us as well.
Yeah, and what's that around his neck, David?
He could have shaved at the very least, in fairness.
DJ, have you been like James Stevens and had a couple of sherbets overnight?
Been doing up and ante with Johnny now for almost 2 seasons, and never have I even seen him bring a tie to the show. Never mind. Brand new jumper, new shirt. He's certainly decked out for the occasion there, Dave.
He is. Right, listen, DJ, while we've got you, come on, let's get the pearls of wisdom. We'll have a bit of banter. I've never seen the old stable with DJ before. I've been out with him before and all that. I've seen him the morning after and all that sort of thing. Oh, DJ, I hope it's not been a long night for you. But tell us about Fairy House. Hunter's Yarn kicks off what could be a big day for the double green, as they call it, the Rainier and Isaac Swade combination at Fairy House. He's been smashed.
Yeah, he looks the best horse in the race, doesn't he? It's very hard to get away from him. When you're looking through the Willys novices, he probably wouldn't make it into the top. He wouldn't make it into the top 10, probably not even the top 15 or 20. But he's a good horse, and he's better than these. I'd imagine Johnny is fairly sweet on him, as most people will be. He's one that's going to start a lot of multiples today. But it kind of gets harder as the Fairy House card goes on, and that kind of staying handicap chase at half 12 was a race that intrigued me. I actually thought Everglow was quite interesting here for Noel Meade. He's a big price. I think he's about 16 or 20 to 1. I actually didn't think he ran bad in the Porterstown. He kind of didn't get into a rhythm early on. And he ran okay in the Cork National as well. He dropped in grade here. And I kind of had it between two. I had it between Potter's Party and Everglow. And not at the prices. I thought Everglow had a bit of a chance.
He's changed colours, isn't he? He's now syndicate owned. I was looking for the old green and red colours on him. So Hunter's Yarn does start the multiples. You've got O'More Park, is it, running a little bit later on? And they've got what seemingly looks like a very well fancied horse in the bumper there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say probably decent, I'd imagine. I thought with this time of year, I think especially, you'll see now from now probably till certainly the spring festival. This is when Willie tends to have his, trebles, 4-timers, even 5-timers. We've seen it with Gordon earlier on in the season, but I do think starting from now, I'd imagine it's going to be Excise Sutton Fest for the next couple of weeks, I'd imagine. And this could start today, because you'd be surprised if Willie certainly didn't have a double, possibly a treble, and he looks to have a lot of big chance on the card. And it's a similar story tomorrow, even in Thurles.
Let's talk about the treble while we've got Johnny with us, because you've got Hunter's Yarn, you've got O'More Park, and then you've got the horse in the bumper, in the green. Who's the dodgy one there? Is it O'More Park?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so. O'More Park it's a big layoff for starters. Hasn't any form on the ground. Whether that makes any difference or not, I don't know. Maybe it'd be better horse in this ground. And I do think Shigoran is a decent opponent in the Moore Park's race. I think he's more of a danger than Safaror is in Hunter's Yarn's race.
All right.
To be honest, So I actually thought Gordon had a good chance of winning that race, to be honest. Moore Park is the one of those three I definitely wouldn't entertain anyway.
Because a lot of people, DJ, will be doing that Fairy House treble, won't they, of course? I wonder if the Ackers will be flying around tomorrow as well. 2 decent meetings for us. I really like the look of the Shannon Royale race, the listed handicap hurdle. What about yourself?
Yeah, and certainly in that race, it's quite an interesting enough race. I thought Lord Erskine was quite interesting. And Lord Erskine is getting on a bit. Like, it's hard to believe. Lord Erskine won the Cesar, which when it was actually ran at Navan. And the horse that I think it was back in 2016 maybe, which is 7 years ago, which is hard to believe. But Lord Erskine beat Snow Falcon, and like Snow Falcon seems like ages ago. So it just goes to show you how long that Lord Erskine has been around. But I thought he ran really well at Naas. He kind of chased the fast pace, got left alone out in front then for too long up the home straight. And if you go back to that amateur riders derby at the Curragh, I just thought that was a really good run. Like, he was behind 2 proper horses there and had no chance at the ratings whatsoever, but travelled as well as either of them into the home straight and finished a really respectable third. I thought around Navan, over that trip, the track he loves, the trip he loves, the ground should be perfect. There might just be one last hurrah in Lord Erskine, and it might be at Navan tomorrow.
And there's a hell of a bumper there, isn't there? I think we've got Redemption Days alive and well, first and foremost. And Jalon du Derrys, who didn't half look impressive for Gordon Elliott as well. He's 9-2, Jalon du Derrys with Hills. A price you'd entertain, or?
Whoa, is he? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I did Gordon Stable Tour, and he picked out maybe 3 bumper horses that he thought were, potentially above average. Jalon du Derrys was certainly one of those. And another one that seems to be all the rage is Romeo Coolio, who we haven't seen yet. I think he had a little bit of a setback, but if we see him entered at Christmas, it's going to be interesting. I know he's been nibbled at in William Hill markets for the champion bumper. So Jalon du Derrys, I thought he put the race to bed pretty quickly early in the home straight at Fairy House. He's more of a kind of a relentless galloper, I think, than a quickener. But I'm going to be very interested in him tomorrow. Whether he's good enough to beat a horse like Redemption Day, who's got that Facile Vega form, and the fact that he's back out in a bumper, he might just be a bit too classy and a bit too experienced for him. And you'd imagine the fact that he's actually turning up here suggests that he's somewhere back to the level he was at 2 seasons ago. It would be very hard for Jalon du Derrys to beat Redemption Day, but I am surprised that he's 92. And jockey bookings are very interesting here, Dave, because Young Williamson is on Jalon du Derrys, and Harry Swan is on the Enabler. So I don't know what Johnny thinks, but I thought that was bizarre.
John?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I didn't see who was riding these horses, but you'd have imagined that Harry Swan would have had the pick of those 2 horses. I wouldn't be backing Jalon du Derrys if I didn't actually know that now, to be honest, that Young Williamson was on that. And the Enabler was quite impressive himself when he won, to be honest. They're 2 strong staying horses, but a top horse, like if Redemption Day is as good as he was 2 years ago, he'd beat both of them.
There was me bigging up the 9-2 with Hills, and they obviously know what they're doing because people are over going, do I back it? Don't I back it, I'd imagine. So listen, watch and see how the market goes there. Great days tomorrow ahead of us, but we all want to know the DJ nap today. Cheltenham's on. Are you coming here, or?
Oh, I am, yeah. I've been waiting for So Scottish for a while. I think he's well handicapped. I thought he travelled beautifully through the plate. He was my charity bet with the Ante earlier on this week, and I badly need a winner. And Johnny Dinnen knows I'm quite a few euros behind Johnny in that competition. But I do think the fact that Factor du Derrys is in the race, kept the weight down. He is still unexposed as a chaser. He hasn't much mileage on the clock, and I'm hoping if he gets into a good rhythm early, So Scottish might land the big one that I thought he would do last March at Cheltenham, but I think this could be it. So Scottish for me in the 150 at Cheltenham.
Yeah, we're singing from the same hymn sheet, DJ. Absolutely love that. Sterling shift as ever. Good luck with the Santa beard, man. I'm expecting it by the time you come on next week to be fun.
I have an excuse. I was actually a bloody doctor on call last night. I got a swelling of my throat, and I've been in better form of a Saturday morning, Dave. So I didn't get a chance to shave for you. And if I'd have known Johnny Dinnen was going to wear a toppy,
Top hat and tails next week, DJ, and a clean shave, my man. Sterling as ever. Listen, DJ, in all seriousness, hope you feel a bit better, man. Looking forward to reading your report over the weekend.
Me too. Cheers, Dave.
Good stuff. So Scottish for DJ then. Right, if you want to back it, why don't you want some free bets? Righty-ho, I think we've got a competition to announce. Is this going to be now, guys? Oh, right, we're going to wait for the end. All right, because we did say, of course, about a competition to go to the Leopardstown DRF Festival. Stick around to find out whether you've won that. I think you had to retweet, didn't you, basically, on the social media. The social team have announced the winner. I've got it. I'll let you know after we look at the King George. Last chance to really anti-post look at this, guys. It's a case of basically, J-Mac, who's going to turn up and who's not. But have we got another boost coming up here?
We have got another boost, yeah. We're going to be 7-2 from 5-2 Bravesman's Game, again for £50. Really interesting market, this, and I think it's going to be a really interesting market right up till race time. It looks increasingly likely like we're going to get Jerry Calam and Allaho over, which is great for the race. It makes it much more interesting, and it's obviously good for the ourselves as well with the boost. If they do turn up, it'll make life much tougher for Bravesman's Game. And yeah, I think there's definitely a world where Bravesman's Game goes off third favourite if the other two do turn up. So yeah, we're happy to boost him.
All right, the first ever boost on the Morning Post was Charlie all weekend. They went evens, and of course he just lost out, didn't he, to Gentleman's Game. John, Allaho coming over?
Yeah, it looks like it now. Yeah, look, this is a great race, the King George, and like this should be supported as being a great race. It's the second best chase in the calendar, isn't it? Like bar the Gold Cup, and it's about time there was proper races, proper horses in this race. Like some of the years, it's been an underwhelming feel in my eyes, but this year is a really good race. If those first four horses in the betting turn up, Bravesman's Game, Jerry Calam, Allaho, and Shishkin, like that is proper what a King George should be. It's a tough race too. And Allaho and the likes of Allaho and Real Whacker, like brilliant jumpers in front run, they're going to put pressure on horses jumping in behind, you know. Maybe that won't affect Bravesman's Game, but it just could put Jerry Calam on the back foot.
Bit of politics there from Johnny Deneen, putting his flag in. Second best chase. Can't clip that up, John Bonn, and hang it in the Louvre.
Yeah, no, I do think
it needs the two Irish horses, though, doesn't it?
It does.
If they don't run, all of a sudden it becomes a pretty underwhelming contest.
Absolutely. But the Irish horses should be in it every year in my eyes. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like Gallop and the Sham should even be in this.
Is it too sharp for Cherry Calam?
It's a possibility, yeah. Like you would say, I'd fancy him a lot more in a place like Newbury.
Are we reading a bit too much into this? I mean, he went to Downroar, the ups and downs for him. He still won despite a little bit of rusty jumping. He's won over 2 mile 4 at Sandown on Lively Ground. Yeah. I think it's too. Surely they know that, the team.
And all I would say, you do have to stay to win this race. What will be the problem for him is if it catches him out early more than anything with the tempo that they go. I mean,
that's exactly it. Yeah.
What's going to rock and roll? Allaho, obviously, and
the Real Whacker. They're both brilliant jumpers. You even see like Blood Destiny in thing. What a horse that attacks fences can do to one's behind.
Yeah, Dory can go as well if he comes.
Do you genuinely think that Bravesman's Game, that was Paul Nicholls' idea to go for the Betfair Chase?
No.
What are you suggesting?
I just think that was owners, maybe. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Because I can't believe that they wanted to do that.
Not at all. I think.
So could you put a line straight through last year's winner?
Oh no! As in, I think he's value. I think
because if the race cuts up 7-2 is going to look like a bit of a bonus, doesn't it?
But yes, look, 7-2 is fair. But I think that the run in the last day is detrimental to his chances in the King George.
A lot of people were shouting
but then it's also price reflected, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
He'd have just come straight on the back of the Charlie Hall.
Then you didn't think you'd have the likes of Jerry Calam and Allaho in this race at that time when he was so short. You know what I mean? Like, look, I don't know. I think. If Jerry, I remember Minella Indoor ran this race a few years ago. And he was beat after about 3
he was.
Couldn't go with him. Didn't know where he was. You know what I mean? Even the time Don Cossack won. No, he fell here, but he was taking all day to get going too.
Yeah, he was getting pressure as well.
You know,
I mean, what a race this could be.
It's a brilliant race. Like I like Jerry Calam. I wouldn't back against him, but I'd be afraid of him, as Charlie says early on, is going to be his problem.
And it's a home game. This is a home game, Bravesman's Game. Like this is his home game.
Oh, it is, of course. Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about this all morning, couldn't we? We're hoping you're enjoying this as well. And we will be previewing the races in entirety next week. The decks will nearly be out. We'll definitely know by then if somebody's not going to get on the ferry over, that's for sure. But if they turn up, who wins? Get your comments in below. Could the Real Whacker bounce back? All right, Shishkin, we don't even mention Shishkin. All right, okay, an unbelievable King George, and I love that passionate plea from Johnny Deneen. Second base, needs support this race, looks like it's going to get it. All right, it's competition time. Okay, Leopardstown Christmas Festival. It's not DRF, I'm preempting it. We're probably going to give you another one with that. There was a competition with a £50 free bet as well. And the winner is, do we have a drum roll? Well retweeted. You've got a future doing that, I can tell you that much.
You on percussion?
No, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. All right, the winner is Damien Keane. Congratulations to you out there. You're off to the Leopardstown Christmas Festival. What does that entail? We've got 4 flexi tickets coming your way and a £50 free bet as well. All right, okay. So the Racing Post, direct message you on Twitter. That's how you're going to find out. All right, fair enough. All right, Damien King, congratulations. All right, that's a bit of housekeeping out the way. We're nearly at the holy grail of the 11 o'clock mark for this show. So shall we do the naps? All right, okay. J-Mac, we're coming to you. You've got a pretty good record, man. These are all boosted as well, aren't they? Take the floor.
They are, yep. Charlie made a good case for mine earlier. It's Man of the People in that last race at Donny. We're going to be 15-2 from the 6-1.
Oh, I love that. I've got these boosts ahead of me, J-Mac, but of course you're on it. Johnny Dinnen, your Morning Post debut, what's the nap?
I'd go with City Chief. I do. I know you put him up for win purposes, but I think he's rock solid each race. But I'd put him up as a winner because I do think he'd win this race.
He's been boosted as well. Let me see what that is. Jay, what's the boost on City Chief?
13-2 from 5-1.
Loving that. Nice. What's the boost on mine then in Excelsius Day? I'm desperate to get one over the line as well. You're probably going to boost it to 10s, are you?
Not quite. 3-1 from 5-2.
I'll be having a bit of that 3-1. And so you're insufferable because your nap last time you were on 1. What's it going to be this time?
Serendipity in the 205 at Doncaster.
Sue Smith?
Sue Smith, they're flying.
They're unbelievable form. She couldn't buy a winner, could she? And now she's just 1. Nick Schofield rides.
Yeah, a big friend of the producer. Yeah.
He really is. It's amazing he's not been on this show yet. All right, great stuff. All right, one more social to end the show. Good luck with any bets. Merry Christmas, says Rebecca Woolley. And absolute festive greetings to you as well. And we shall say a very Merry Christmas to Charlie Poste and Mr. Johnny Dinnen. Johnny, thanks for coming over. It's always a blast.
No bother. Yeah, absolutely delighted. Yeah, it's the first start for me.
And you'll now be known as Johnny the Tie going forward, man. So Johnny the Tie Dinnen, absolutely fantastic. We'll try and, you know what's going to happen.
I'll make sure I wear one next time.
You wouldn't mind the tie now.
I'll be making sure I won't, yeah.
All right, J-Mac up in the Hills offices. It's been another sterling performance from you. Great to have you on the show. You back next week, Jay?
No. I think a couple of weeks off from me. You're back in the capable hands of Johnny for the next couple of Saturdays.
So from us all at the Racing Post and the viewers, Merry Christmas to Jay and his family as well. Right, one more Saturday after this, of course, still to go. We will be back previewing Ascot and, of course, Haydock next week. But right now, it's December Gold Cup Day. Wasn't it a treat to have Max McNeill on the line as well? You've got the naps. They're all boosted. You've got the boosts everywhere. Happy hunting.